Hello everybody, my name is Toonstar, and I would like to address an incident that occurred in the fandom earlier. As most of you may know, a brilliant analyst who I deeply admired was caught engaging in deviant sexual conversations with a minor. Honestly, there are no words to express my anger, my sadness, basically all the emotions that one could possibly feel during this time. Just finding out that such a thing happened, as I said, it's the kind of thing that it's the kind of emotions that defy explanation. At any rate, I'm sending this message out to all my fan base and to all future fans, as well as, the fandom in general. Such acts should not and will not be tolerated. I hope that this man, known as ToonKriticY2K, gets the justice he deserves. Now, some of you may see my message as harsh, as not understanding, because I didn't know him personally, not understanding his problems, his issues, whatever you wish to call it. But honestly, there's no excuse for what had happened, and not just in the fan, and not just because he was a member of the fandom, but because he was a human being, because he was a person. I hope that going forward in the future, in the next season, in the next generation of MLP, and in the next generation of this fandom, that we can look upon what has occurred as a lesson, gain knowledge from the situation. And I hope that despite this, that any of those in the fandom or thinking about joining the fandom are not deterred, deviated, or thinking about leaving. As a whole, the MLP fandom is a wondrous and beautiful place. It's allowed me to express myself musically and in the future in other ways. And that I hope you know that one bad apple, despite what Granny Smith said in Super Cider Squeezy 6000, that one bad apple doesn't spoil the bunch. You find that a bad apple, you remove it, you deal with it, but the rest of those apples are good. So you take those apples and you make apple pie, or cider, or sap apple jam if that's your thing. Anyway, you see my point. I hope with all my heart that this situation doesn't taint what the fandom is really all about. Friendship, love, and tolerance for the entire world. And that this is a bad situation. I know his friends are suffering, or those who once called his friends are suffering. His family's suffering. The victim is most definitely suffering. I hope that, honestly, that all this, though it never should be forgotten, and it should never be forgiven, that it should at least be learned from. There are programs out there, which I will leave links to in the description below, that will help children, teens, adults, everyone learn about the dangers of both online and offline interaction. Please know that this situation, though it leaves a bad taste in my mouth and my stomach churning, will not provoke me to leave the fandom, but will in fact lead me to strive ever harder to be the person I hope is deserving of all the praise and admiration I've received so far, and that it does not deter you and that this situation does not deter anyone from seeking out new friends and possibly new loves. That's all I have to say. You guys are awesome, and this is Toonstar signing off.